Hello again. I'll be presenting target 6, which states that Tim has 5 identical copies of each of the letters A, E, I, O, and U. He arranges them in a line in a random order. What is the expected number of pairs of consecutive identical letters? Now, this is a problem about expected value. As you can see, we're figuring out what the expected number of pairs of consecutive identical letters. And what that really means is if we do this a big bunch of times, like what's the average number of pairs of consecutive identical letters we can like sort of expect to see. And at first glance, this may look intimidating because like we're arranging 25 letters in a row. It's big and scary. Why don't we start by trying a simpler problem? Namely, let's say we have these 25 letters. What happens if we just try to arrange 2 of them? What's the expected number of pairs of consecutive identical letters if we just put 2 of them down? Um, the question here becomes, what's the expected number of times if you do this a bunch of times that you're going to get the same letter twice, which is just what is the probability that you're going to see the same letter twice? So let me write this down. Probability of seeing same letter twice. And the answer here is, well, there are a few ways to do this. The way I like to do it is I like to think, okay, it doesn't really matter what the letter on the left is. We can say it's like an O or something. Um, we want to place a letter to the right, and we want to find the probability that the second letter is an O. And again, it doesn't matter if the first one was an O or an E. We just want the probability that the second one's the same as the first one. And the answer is there are 24 more letters, 24 more letters, and 4 of them are O's. 4 O's among 24 more vowels. So the expected number of times you're going to see a pair of consecutive identical letters is 4/24, which is 1 divided by 6. Now that's cool, but how is it going to help us solve the original problem, which has 25 letters in a row? Wow, that's a lot of letters. Well, we can use this very nifty tool. It's got a fancy name. It's called linearity of expectation. Big and fancy name, but all it's really saying is if you have 25 letters in a row, da 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 da, da 25 letters in a row, the expected number of pairs is just you can basically add up the expected number of pairs in these two, plus the number of pairs in these two, plus the number of pairs in these two, and so on and so forth, right? So all we have to do is figure out what each of these are and then add them all up for all possible like consecutive slots. Just add all of them up and we've got ourselves an answer. Now, if you'll notice, if you just look at any 2 slots among the 25 in the row, you can see that the expected number of consecutive identical letters within any of these slots, for example, this one, this is just a simpler problem that we did where we have 2 slots and we're fitting 25 letters in. Now, we already know that you're expected to see 1/6 1/6 pairs of consecutive numbers in this one, and 1/6 of them in here, and so on and so forth, because every single pair of slots next to each other is that smaller problem we just did. How many of these pairs are there? Well, there are 25 letters, so if you count, there are 24 possible consecutive slots. For example, if you were to number them 1 through 25, you'd see 1 and 2 are next to each other, 2 and 3 are next to each other, all the way up to 24 and 25. So there are 24 possible pairs of slots next to each other. Each of them you're expecting to see 1/6 um, pairs of consecutive identical letters. And so you just add 1/6 up 24 times, you're going to get 24 times 1/6, which is equal to 4. So you're going to expect to see 4 pairs of consecutive identical letters among this line that is arranged in random order.
This is Tim. Hope you're enjoying our videos. If so, you know what to do: like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that sort of thing. But what I'd really want to invite you to do is to send us an email at media@mathleague.org. Tell us which problems you'd like to see us cover next in our video series. Take care and see you in the next video.